Welcome to Big Red Leads. I'm Big Red, getting you and your family back to black. In this case, we're talking about family today. So let's break this down. Whether you are celebrating, it is the holiday season. So when this video does come out, maybe one or two of you and your family can um, spark up this conversation. Now, this conversation should happen just due to the fact that more than likely your family is getting together for the holidays, whether you're celebrating Kwanzaa, Christmas, or Hanukkah. Doesn't matter. Now, there's going to be plenty of food. I'm pretty sure of it. Be careful with all those desserts and heavy starches and things like that. Now, I'm not telling you what to eat. I'm not telling you how to diet. I'm not telling you how to enjoy. Now, enjoy all the festivities that come with your family. Now, every family dynamic is different. Some people, it's more than just the gifts. It's the celebration. Maybe it's the music. Maybe it's playing cards, dominoes. Maybe it's playing games with the kids, the youngest generation. Whatever it might be for you and your family. But what is not happening? Now, I can only speak to the stats. Now, I'm not going to give you a bunch of stats and feed you with that because this video is actually I'm going to make this as quick as possible. We did a video like this very similar about a year ago. We here at Big Red Leads, we believe in the family. Family should come first. God, family, and then taking care of business. Now, taking care of business is one thing, but when it comes to taking care of the family, you need to think about 2-3 generations from you. Now, most people are in a position because we don't have a collective mindset of understanding that it's not about you stunting on the generation that you happen to be in and balling out. Now, what we are speaking about is generational wealth. What is wealth? We're not talking about just the monetary means that most people think about when they hear the word wealth. Well-being, well-rounded individuals. Now, if you're lucky enough and blessed enough to have a family that has quite a few of these well-rounded individuals in it, then these conversations should definitely be happening. Okay, so let's say you have a large family. My family is very large, and we are sprinkled all over the country, from the Midwest to the East Coast, and even some on the West Coast. So, we are everywhere. Now, when I say everywhere, we are everywhere. However, we all don't get together at one house. It is what it is. However, when we do get together, we do have some interesting conversations that do spark interest and get us thinking and feeling into situations that could be beneficial, not for our generation, but for a generation further down. Now, what I'm suggesting to you, family, loved ones, if you have more than 2-3 generations in this house, there should be at least 2 to 3 people in every generation that are sitting down, doesn't take long, and have some honest conversations. Okay, what are we going to do with great grandma and the planning for her passing? Great grandpa, grandpa, grandmother. Because understand, I'm not saying that this conversation has to be morbid, but if you guys do not have life insurance, that's a whole nother conversation in itself. But those are things that should be happening, if not already. Unless your great grandparents are still working, that's a whole nother conversation. But we're not going to get deep into that one. What we are speaking about is, understand, the day after the 25th is one of the most high octane days to manifest things. We're not going to get into the metaphysics today of what that day is and the following 3 days after, but this is the time to actually sit down, meditate, bring up all the things that you should be planning for the next year, 2 years, and then working that out, because this is a high energy time. That being said, most people aren't thinking about that because they're simply just enjoying the family. There's nothing wrong with having a little bit more eggnog than you probably should, or having a few cocktails with your uncle. Whatever that might be for you. What I'm simply speaking to is, are you having the conversations about wealth? Like I said, not just the monetary means. How about the psychological means? This time of year can be very difficult for a lot of people, not just from the financial standpoint. Especially if you've lost someone, you've lost family members, you've lost friends. This can be very difficult for a lot of people. Depression and anxiety seem to be at highs, especially during the holiday season. But we're not talking about that. We're speaking about what are you guys doing and putting into place that's going to put the next generation, the generation after that, and the generation after that, in a position to be successful. Those conversations should be happening. Whether that's starting a business together, whether that's just maybe creating a fund for the family, whether everybody contributes $5, $10, $15, $20, $100 every month. And we put that into account that's going to be used, and maybe even possibly buy some real estate down the road. Buy land, whatever it is for you and your family. Understand that these conversations can happen. They can happen. You can make them fun. At the same time, they should be happening. The problem is you always have that one or two cousin or relative or uncle or aunt who's very pessimistic and doesn't believe in that. Or what they're not saying is they don't have the means. They don't have the ability to dole out an extra $5, $10. If you can't speak with family about what you're dealing with, then that's a whole nother conversation. And family should be a place where you can trust and believe that what I'm saying to you, this is what I'm dealing with, this is where I'm at right now. You should be able to have these conversations. Because if not, this is something, it's a deeper rooted thing that needs to be removed or even spoken about. Maybe there's some trauma somewhere down in this third generation or whatever it might be. However, we're talking about wealth building. So what we're speaking to is these conversations can happen. You can make them happen and just be a catalyst for it. Who are the action takers in your family? Who are the spiritual leaders in your family? Because wealth is its spirit, its energy, which energy and spirit go hand in hand. It is mindset, understanding, mental capacity, the psychology of what it means to be wealthy. And it could be the monetary means. It's like, okay, how's the family doing monetarily? How are we doing, like, as a family, as a collective? What is our worth? I'm not talking about what your actual worth is. I'm speaking about how much money does the family have in the bank. If a situation arises and grandpa's house is falling apart and we get here every year and the roof is caving in, do we have a fund for that to get a new roof? So keep all these things in mind. And if you are that vocal leader in the family, speak up. This is the perfect time to do it. You have multiple generations there, and there should be at least a couple people from each generation in that conversation. So, what are we going to do about that? When do we have these conversations? When do you bring this up? Maybe you start talking about it after everybody's eaten. The itis kicks in, and the next thing you know, your uncle's got his pants open, and he's just relaxing, and he's chilling, and he's waiting to feel a little bit better, and he's going back for round 2. Whatever it is, the elders need to be a part of this. The elders need to be a part of this. This is not just something to just kind of gloss over because you don't believe that your Uncle John or, whatever doesn't want to be a part of it. Whether he chooses to be a part of it or not, understand that there should be people engaging in this conversation. So, wish you nothing but the best. Happy holidays to you and your family. This is Big Red getting your family back to black. So, once again, have the conversations. It's okay. This is family. Just because you're family doesn't mean that, you're related. And just because you're related doesn't mean you're family. But if you all are getting together and sharing and breaking bread together, then, you need to be having some conversations about why am I hanging out with this person if we don't see eye to eye on everything. Because you're not going to see eye to eye on every single thing and topic that comes up. But put yourself in a position to be successful. Not just yourself. When I say yourself, I'm speaking about your family. Think about the next 3, 4, 5, 10 generations down the road. What does it look like for them? If you have nothing now, you probably won't have anything if you don't start planning and taking action steps and getting some things done and prepped and ready to go. So, that being said, love you all. Have a great holiday. Enjoy the family and have the conversations. Let's talk about wealth. So, have a great one. This is Big Red signing off. Like, share, definitely subscribe to the channel. And if you are the individual in your family who sees this video, make sure that you maybe take some notes. That way you can go into it somewhat prepared. I'm not saying you got to be a financial advisor to go speak to the family about, let's put some money away, but have some notes. Hell, share this video with your family. Play it during the holiday. Whatever it might be for you. Love you all. Have a great day. Talk soon. This is Big Red. And peace.